They used to have the green button.
Okay. We've got sound.
Find my timer again here. Okay, I think we're functioning again. That, I believe, is entirely my fault, because I'm in a desperate hurry today, so, we would need something to take more time. Condensed minutes, you've got the minutes from September 15th, 2023 meeting in your packet. I'll consider them accepted as mailed unless there's any additions or deletions. Any additions, corrections, or deletions? Seeing none, we'll consider them accepted. Communications.
For communications from Fulton County, we're in receipt of their resolution number 390 supporting Senate Bill S-7645 that repeals certain provisions of the executive law establishing a fee for background checks on certain firearms and ammunition purchases. From Warren County, in receipt of their resolution number 443 supporting the Adirondack Community College Capital Improvement Plan for 2024-2025. That's all I have for communications.
Thank you. Committee reports. The Audit Committee.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to move the audit report to the full board and make a motion that we pay the bills. I would like to note that since Audit Committee, there was an emergency voucher came in to avoid late charges of $55,435.86. That was to pay for a vehicle that we got and all the accoutrements to it. So wanted to make that clarification. So that brings the total bill to $5,651,204.48. And we're asking to pay that.
So are we, he's bringing that as a straight motion, we're not amending it to a different, okay. I don't think we need to amend it.
It's in front of you as corrected, or as,
Okay.
with that addition.
Right. Okay, motion made by Supervisor O'Brien, there's a second. Ferguson, Hall, Fedler. Fisher, Griffith, and Nolan. This is gonna be one of those days. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Carried.
You want to adjourn now?
Boy, I would like to. Okay, we're at Supervisor's privilege of the floor. Mr. Griffith, do you have someone?
I do. Thank you, Chairman. So I'd like to, acknowledge White Creek Town Councilman Greg Woodcock as well.
This mic over here, Greg.
Yep, thank you.
Good morning. My name is Major Greg Woodcock from White Creek, New York. I'd like to thank the Washington County Board of Supervisors for allowing me to speak to the Board of Supervisors about saying no to migrants. Bottom line up front, I'm here to get a vote or a public proclamation from the Washington County Board of Supervisors for an executive order saying no importing any immigrants into any of our 17 towns and our communities in Washington County. I'd like to have the Washington County Board of Supervisors on record stating that they don't want migrants invading our upstate Washington County communities. Today, our taxpayers can't take on new immigrants because our schools, medical services, hospitals, and police departments could easily be overwhelmed, especially when gas prices, food costs, energy costs, and higher inflation are already on the rise and affecting the taxpayers of Washington County. Also, by voting no on immigrants, you will be on the record and informing New York State NGOs, charities, and even wealthy elite New York State citizens that doing workarounds won't be tolerated nor allowed per your vote on approved executive order. By making your public proclamation by saying no to migrants, you would be announcing to the New York State NGOs, New York State charities, and the wealthy elite that no abandoned hospitals, unused government buildings, or private buildings couldn't be utilized to house migrants transported here from New York City, Newark, New Jersey, and the surrounding places around New York. Thanks for your time and consideration regarding the current possible migrant situation that could be occurring within our Washington County community. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we got Merle.
I was gonna ask you,
Well, it's not question and answer.
one, I'm going to start with a blast out of the past. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to be where I am. It told me I need to go to my chair, sit down, and stay there. Do not get up. Not walk around. I told him I'd get up and leave the room when you all salute the flag. That's why. Where's the flag? Oh, that way. I go out and put out on my flag. Wow, that guy. Like that guy back there. That's his symbol. And the face of this guy. Pastor Cobb, I will not salute. And the face of, I will not salute that flag. Pastor Cobb spoke to me at a public meeting. He reminisced about a contact with a person on a plane trip to Washington, D.C. learned quickly that they were of different party disciplines. One thing they had in common: clean air, clean water. This is a little hard. I think you should think about that with every discussion you have here. Our upcoming election is coming soon. Let me give you my congratulations now. My sample ballot of Argyle here. My sample ballot, Argyle, shows me I have no one to vote for since all positions are unopposed, except for a judgeship. There are two questions to answer on the back of the second page, maybe the first page. I have spoken to that officer in the back about my answering a distress call. There are two on Route 42 near my home. I've answered their distress. Seems to me I am the only one in all of the county, including fire, police, local politicians, or any other concerned citizens, that I'm the only one. Clean air, clean water. And the distress signals have been out for over a year. Five minutes?
That's 5 minutes.
I only timed it at 2 minutes. I go too slow. Okay. Thank you very much for your time and effort.
Any other privileged floor? Okay. Move on to the introduction of resolutions. Don't need to do that, right?
No, none to
Okay.
set aside the rules.
All right, because we're not setting aside any rules, we'll move to the consideration of the resolution.
Resolution number 272 by Supervisors Wilson, Hogan, Half, Hicks, O'Brien, Terry, titled to appoint members to the Washington County EMS Advisory Board.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution 272.
Moved by Supervisor Wilson, second. Bedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, Clary, and Nolan. Discussion.
Mr. Chairman, I need to make a motion to amend resolution 272. All whereas, two whereas will be resolved. Anything referencing Fort Ann, it should have been West Fort Ann.
That's the Fort Ann, okay. Motion by Supervisor Wilson to amend, second by Fedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, Campbell, Clary, and Nolan. Discussion on the motion to amend. All those in favor of the motion to amend?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Back to consideration of the original motion as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 273 by Supervisors Hicks, Skelly, Campbell, O'Brien, Fedler, Clary, Wilson, title amend the staffing pattern, sewer district number 2.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution 273.
Moved by Supervisor Hicks, second. Fedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, Campbell, Skelly, Clary, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 274 by Supervisors Skelly, Half, O'Brien, Fedler, Wilson, Fisher, title resolution approving amendment to intermunicipal agreement.
Moving moving resolution number 274.
Moved by Supervisor Skelly, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, Campbell, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 275 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title amend budget, buildings and grounds for water damage and probation.
Moving number 275.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 276 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title amend budget for purchase of pavement striping truck.
Moving 276.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, Skelly, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 277 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title amend budget, sheriff for police traffic services program grant.
Moving resolution number 277.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 278 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title amend budget, sheriff for PBA agreement.
Moving resolution number 278.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 279 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title to set date of annual meeting.
Moving resolution 279.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, and Nolan. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 280 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title to determine the time and place for a public hearing on the 2024 tentative budget.
Moving resolution number 280.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, and Nolan. Discussion. Mr. Hicks.
So Mr. Haff couldn't make it today. He thought it inappropriate that every resolution gets passed unanimously, so he asked me to put a no in because his presence wasn't available today. So even though I support this pretty innocuous, he requested that I at least vote no on something, so his presence is felt.
The chair's here.
But I feel like his presence in here at all times.
At least half of it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Wonderful.
Resolution number 281 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title amend the title by grade schedule for supervisor of pumping stations and sewers.
Moving resolution 281.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, Skelly, and Nolan. Discussion. This is a roll call.
Mr. Hanky?
Yes.
Mrs. Sedler? Yes. Mr. Ferguson?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Skelly?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mrs. Clary? Yes. Mr. Griffith?
Yes.
Resolution is adopted, 3,097 yes, 1,593 absent. Resolution number 282 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title amend the staffing pattern and title by grade schedule to establish pay rate for Special Patrol Officer Fort Edward.
Moving resolution number 282.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Sedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, and Nolan. Discussion on this. It's also roll call.
Mr. Hanky?
Yes.
Sedler? Yes. Mr. Ferguson?
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Hicks?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan? Nolan?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Yes.
Mr. Campbell?
Yes.
Mr. Skelly?
Yes.
Mr. Wilson?
Yes.
Mrs. Clary? Mr. Griffith?
Yes.
The resolution is adopted, 3,097 yes, 1,593 absent. Resolution number 283 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title, Resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Washington County authorizing extension of deadline contained in Resolution number 113 of 2015 regarding allocation of such county's net collection from its local sales and compensating use taxes.
Moving resolution 283.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, and Noel. Discussion. Hall.
Yes, I'd just like to state that the, resolution was required by the town, is currently in the proper hands of the county.
Okay. Further discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 284 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title, Resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Washington County establishing the Board of Supervisors of Washington County as lead agency pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act relative to the proposed project for the construction and operation of a jointly owned and operated highway maintenance barn with the town of Fort Ann.
Moving resolution 284.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, O'Brien, and Noel. Discussion.
We've only received one response to our solicitation. For the other folks that were eligible to be lead agency, that was from DEC, who said they did not wish to be lead agency, but did note some, issues that they wanted to make sure we were aware of with the project. So, the deadline is passed, and, that would make the board eligible to appoint itself as lead agency, which is good.
Thank you. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 285 by Supervisors Campbell, O'Brien, Half, Hicks, Feather, Skelly, Hogan, Wilson, title, Resolution of the Board of Supervisors of Washington County issuing a negative declaration pursuant to the State Environmental Quality Review Act relative to the proposed project for the construction and operation of a jointly owned and operated highway maintenance barn with the town of Fort Ann.
Moving resolution 285.
Moved by Supervisor Campbell, second. Fedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, and Nolan. I presume you have all, under the results, done a thorough examination of the, analysis of the secret regulations and things. However, you want to...
So, yes, you have the EAF in front of you. Just to recap the project very briefly, we have two highway barns in Fort Ann, one that's run by the town, one that's run by the county. The project proposes to demolish both of those, construct a new joint highway barn, to be operated by, jointly owned by the town and the county. Expenses shared in proportion to the amount of space that each one is using. We each will be running our own salt and sand operations out of there as well. So we're taking two, maybe charitably 50 buildings, down and, making a brand new energy efficient building there. This is hooked up to water and sewer. Yeah, reflects all that. It's a fairly impermeable clay, layer there, which is good for operations as well. So, yeah, reflects all of that. There's no concerns about stormwater runoff, which is taken care of. Again, you'll see that in the EAF. And we did discuss this also at the committee meeting, before this was forwarded to the board. So if there are any concerns, questions, or comments, this is the time to do it.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution number 286 by Supervisors Wilson, Hogan, Half, Hicks, O'Brien, Clary, title authorizing signature of site access agreement with Cellco Partnership doing businesses Verizon Wireless for site study on county property located at 1249 Big Birch Hill Road in the town of Houston.
Mr. Chairman, moving resolution number 286.
Moved by Supervisor Wilson, second. Fedler, Ferguson, Hall, Fisher, Campbell, Skelly, Clary, Griffith, and Nolan. I would point out that in the title, we got zapped by the spell checker, and they changed site SITE to SITHC. It should be SITE, but that's a clerical thing. We don't need to amend it. Just pointing it out to you that there is a mistake.
In my defense, they are going to look at the property, so it's very.
The further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That concludes the resolutions. We're on to supervisor's comments. Mr. Hall.
Chairman, I would like to thank my colleagues for voting yes on resolution number 283. Thank you.
Big step forward, I think. No? Nobody?
I want to say. So I'm asking Mr. Hicks, when you vote no at Mr. Haff's request, are you voting no on his behalf? No.
I didn't know I could do that. It was more symbolic than anything
Okay,
else.
well, I figured it was on his behalf.
Behalf.
Yeah.
You roll in a decent pun and you guys blow it.
Cold room today, cold room.
Okay, the only, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that, hoping to roll out budget on Wednesday, so you're all here to enjoy that.
I'm sure we will be. Joy? I would just make one slight comment. I've made it before, but I don't think I've made it publicly, and, appreciate Mr. Woodcock coming in and doing the, thing, and I just wanted to point out that I taught constitutional law for almost 20 years in the academies, and I'm kind of wedded to that document, and as such, I personally am incredibly reluctant to do executive orders, because an executive order requires you to do an order. Essentially, it requires the executive department to make laws, which is not what's supposed to happen. The executive department is supposed to enforce laws, not make laws. The legislative branch makes laws. So an executive order, or in this case, it would have to be an emergency order. I'm not apt to do unless there's, fires, bombs, or some sort of demonstrable emergency that we have to close buildings, order people out of their homes, do something like that, in which case I would certainly do it for the sake of public safety. I understand the issue. I'm very sympathetic to the concerns of taxpayers and this board. I mean, we could have some significant expenses. I'm also fairly, humane thinking about some of these issues. I don't like, broad stroke things talking about, we don't want immigrants, because we certainly do want immigrants. We don't want to be forced and imposed upon. We don't like some of the things maybe that are going on, but we're certainly not against immigrants per se. But I am against executive orders and emergency orders as a philosophical comment myself. I don't like what it does to the Constitution. I don't like what it does to the separation of powers. So I will do it if we need to. I think COVID was a good reason to do it. I'm not sure we're at that point yet. We have only 67 motel rooms in Washington County they could put people in, and anyway, that's my comment. I'll let it go with that. And I'm not going to make any further bloviations since I have a whole bunch of things to do right now. Further supervisor's comments. Okay, in the absence of Mr. Shaw making his proclamation, we are adjourned.